Like, I don't know how to fix this, and it's really making me upset. Let me just say that. I guess this will work. Hey guys, welcome back to Cassandra's Corner. I'm so lame. I can't. So basically I wanted to talk about everything that I've been through in the past with my diagnosis, yeah, that sounds good. With everything that I've been through basically from the very beginning, because a lot of you guys have been asking me, or those of you who do know still have questions or still don't know or still don't understand. And it's not something that you're necessarily going to understand, but I think that me explaining it all over a vlog would be better. Basically in 2011 I was diagnosed with HLH. I was in 7th grade and I was like really tired, and I was like not able to be in school. When I was in school I was extremely tired. I wasn't able to focus. I wasn't able to do a lot of things that a normal kid should be able to. Like, you know, everyone's tired when they go to school, but tired day after day after day after day is like way, you know, like it's not normal. So I was seen by a doctor. No one could figure out what I had. Like, they said, oh, she just has a cold, she's tired, maybe she has a flu. She's had fevers every now and then, but I knew something was wrong. Like, not to this extreme, but like, you know something's wrong, you know your body, you know, like, you know that this isn't how you are. So I was seen by a lot of doctors and no one could figure out what it was. And then finally I went to Rady Children's Hospital, and they kept doing a bunch of tests, and they weren't even sure about what I had. They were like, oh, we don't want to mistreat you, you know, like maybe you have this, even though you don't have this, we'll treat you with this, that way we can at least see if it helps you. And so later on they find out that I have something called HLH, or they just assume, because I had like 6 out of the 9 tests positive. But the only problem was, like, HLH was only found in like the south part of the world. Like, I don't know, it was weird. So then they asked me a bunch of questions like, have you been on a farm lately? Have you been petting any farm animals? And I'm like, no, like, I live in Carlsbad. This is not, you know, like, there are no farm animals over there, you know, and we have dogs and cats. So they were just asking me a bunch of questions and trying to do more tests based off of my knowledge. I was answering them and things like that. And then so they started treating me for HLH, and I was going through chemotherapy, strong doses of chemotherapy. So I was in and out of the hospital like weeks at a time. And so once that was all over, like, I got better. They gave me a bunch of medications, like, you know, the basic cancer run. So everything was fine. And then later on in 2013, I don't remember how old I was. I think I was like 15. Yeah, 15, I guess. And they diagnosed me with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Basically, they realized that the HLH diagnosis was non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. So they started treating me for non-Hodgkin's lymphoma because I started getting fevers again and being tired all the time and things like that. So basically everything was how it was, except worse. So I was a sophomore, I think. Yeah, I was a sophomore. I was going to Carlsbad High. Freshman year was fun, everything great. Yeah, so sophomore year, when I was going through treatment, I found like a bump on my arm. Actually, you can still kind of see it. I don't know. It's like right there. Yeah, so I had a biopsy, and what the biopsy showed was that it was a lymph node that was inflamed. So I had inflammation in my lymph nodes, which was not good apparently. I mean, what's a 15-year-old supposed to know about that? So they later explained like more to me about what was wrong with me, and basically my bone marrow was giving out cancer cells. So the B cells that I had were not good. And I mean, I don't really remember much about this year because this year I also went through a bone marrow transplant, and the bone marrow transplant was really hard on my body, and it was really hard for me because I was in LA at City of Hope for 4 months straight, and like I was completely isolated like from everyone, and the only person that was able to be there with me was my aunt, and everyone who came into the room, like doctors and stuff, had to wear like those like weird scrub thingies that like cover your whole body, and like, yeah. Basically I was like, I literally don't remember anything because I was like about to kill everyone. No, I'm just kidding. I don't remember anything because I was so doped up on medication. I mean, who's gonna remember that, right? Like, ask me what medications I took in the past. I don't know. So it was really strong. So I got my bone marrow transplant on June 6th of 2014. Yeah, 2014. And it was pretty hard on me. Like, I was kind of depressed, and I don't even know, like, I don't really remember much to tell you like anymore, but like all I can say is I was really depressed, and I remember feeling lonely and just not myself, you know, not my fun being myself. And it was just hard. It was overall just really hard for me, and it was really hard on my family because they weren't able to see me as much as they would like to. A lot of them wanted to come visit and they couldn't because I was in isolation in my room, and I had just gotten the bone marrow transplant. But later, when I got out of the hospital, I was moved to kind of like this village area, which is on the base of the hospital, like it's on the campus, but it's like not in the hospital. Like, it's like its own little town thing. And so it's the hospital and then like little villas around by the hospital. And it was really cool being able to stay there because my family was finally able to come and see me, and a couple of my friends, a couple of my cancer friends actually were able to come and see me, so that was really cool. And yeah, it was overall like a really big experience for me because I was over there for so long, and it made me really think about like everything that I had before it was all taken away. And yeah, so then I finally got to go home, and everything was great, and 2 years went by. We're chilling, you know, like I'm not sick, I'm not anything, everything looks great. In 2016, 16, it was 2016. 2016, my senior year, beginning of my senior year, I started having really bad, like really, I don't even know, it was like nosebleeds that lasted like hours, like an hour or like 45 minutes, and it killed me because I hate blood. For those of you who know me, you know I hate blood. 2, I hate needles. No. So I would always do this thing, I don't know, I hated blood like to begin with, so like getting bloody noses freak me the heck out, because even to this day, like whenever I get a bloody nose, I just like, I hate it, I start crying, I can't do it. So I started getting nosebleeds, and I started feeling tired again, and I wasn't getting fevers, so that was good. So then, you know, at this time I was still going to Rady Children's Hospital, where I was being seen for my previous diagnosis, because we go like for checkups and stuff, and I still do to this day. So I go, and they start doing tests on me. They're like, like you just have a vein in your nose that needs to be burned so that the blood stops coming through your nose and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, awesome, like I can do that. So then they do more tests, and they come to the conclusion that something else is wrong. Like something else is wrong besides that nose, because like I guess like my B cells were still growing in my bone marrow. So they did more tests, and later that day, I remember it like perfectly. So I go into the doctor's office, right? Like its own room, and my doctor comes in, and he's like, we have good news and we have bad news. So I'm like, oh, great. So he's like, he's like, the good news is we can cure this. And I was like, awesome, yes. And then the second part, he was like, the bad news is, you know, I really hate to tell you this, but you have leukemia. And I was like, okay. Like, I was just like this. Like, this was my face. Okay. It was just weird. Like, I knew that this was bad, but like, I kind of had this sense of relief of knowing that I know, like, with everything that I've been through, I just kind of like know that everything's gonna be okay, you know? Like, you know, yeah, you know. So I was just like, okay, like, no problem. Like, I can do this. And my doctor's like, you look like you need a hug. Are you okay? I'm like, I'm chilling. Like, I'm fine. And my aunt is just kind of looking at me like, you know, like, you don't have to be tough. You can let it out. Like, if you want to cry, you can. If you want to laugh, you can. Because she knows that I cry when I'm uncomfortable. So I'm just like, no, like, I'm good. Like, I'm good. So we like leave, and I'm just super quiet because I'm like still trying to take everything in. So we're like driving home, and I don't say anything like the whole ride home. And I'm just like, this is awesome. You know, like, now I get to go through everything all over again. Like, I was being negative. So then we get home, and I just kind of go to my room, and I'm just kind of sitting in there, and I mean, not knowing what's about to happen, because I don't know what this means, you know? Like, even to this day, like, you don't really know what it means when you get diagnosed with cancer, even after going through cancer. But I just knew that things were going to be different, things were going to change, things were going to be negative. Like, I just knew that, like, things weren't going to be the same, you know? Especially after going through cancer for your, like, second time, and then now getting it diagnosed with your third time. It's like a lot on you specifically, and like, I don't know, it was just difficult. And I realize now that, like, it isn't that bad, and it wasn't that bad, because, like, I know that with all the other times I've had friends and family to be there for me, so it's not like I'm in this by myself. But at the same time, it's like you are, because no one else around you is going through everything that you are. I remember, like, my doctor specifically calling me on the phone and telling me, like, oh, you're not gonna lose your hair. And like, when I heard that, I was like, thank God, because I had already lost it in my second round of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. I shaved my head because it was falling out, and I shaved my head because why not? You know, there were a lot of people who didn't have hair, and I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna do this. Even though I'm not losing it completely, I was just like, let's just shave my head. So we shaved my head. I'll try and like post a picture about it on Instagram or something. Well, a lot of you probably have already seen it. But anyways, I think that my family and my doctor definitely took it way harder than what I did, because like, I'd been through everything, and it just wasn't that bad on me. Like, it wasn't that hard on me. So later on, I was admitted, and I was doing super low doses of chemotherapy, and my doctor had come in and told me that there's a treatment called CAR T-cell therapy treatment that basically is a new treatment. It's kind of like a test run, if you will. Like, they test it on people who have had cancer to see if it works, and basically everyone that they had done it on had worked on. So he said there's no guarantee, blah 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 blah. There's never a guarantee with anything, right? So I'm just like, all right, let's just do it. So basically, I had to go to Seattle because they didn't have it here in San Diego or anywhere near. So I went to Seattle, and I got CAR T-cell treatment, and they basically take out, I wouldn't even be able to tell you what it is now. All I know is that they take out your cancer cells, they treat them, they like cure them, and then they like train them to attack the cancer cells that are in your body. I don't know how, and I don't know when, I don't know why, I don't know. But so I went, they took out my cells. It was really cool. It was like this like blood machine thingy, yeah. So they took my cells out, and then I came back home to Carlsbad, and I was here probably for like 2-3 weeks, and then I went back that next month. So I was there for a month, and they basically just put the cells back into you, the new ones, and then they kind of just wait, because usually people like get super sick and they get fevers, they start throwing up, they start breaking out into rashes, like things like that. They start getting weird, like not themselves. So they start getting sick when they put the cells back into you. But lucky for me, I only got a fever, and I got one fever. Well, I got 2 fevers, and then I was fine. Like everything after that was fine. Like my numbers started coming up. Like everything was just great, smooth sailing. Everything was great. So then I was like, this is too easy, right? You know, like this is too easy. Something's gonna go wrong. Well, no, everything was fine. So then they let me come back home after a month, and the next day the day before I came home, they were doing a pep rally at school for me. So that was super cool to see that everyone, like all my supporters and stuff at school, and like everyone at Sage supported me. So love you guys. Shout out to Sage Creek. But anyways, yeah, I came home the day after that, and then I got to see like a bunch of my friends. I saw Sterling, I saw Leanne, I saw Shauna, just a few, you know. And then I saw everyone back at school and stuff, and like on my birthday and stuff. So it was super nice to come back. And then to this day I still go to get checkups at Rady Children's Hospital. But once a month I do get IVIG, which is like an immune globulin. It basically just boosts. Did I say that right? Boosts. It boosts my immune system, and it basically just kind of makes me not sick, I guess. It helps me not get sick. That's basically what it is, yeah. So that's super cool. But right now I'm battling like this osteonecrosis in my hips. My right hip collapsed actually like not too long ago. So I had surgery not too long ago, about 3 weeks ago. And they drained a bunch of fluid out of my hip, so that was super nice, right? It wasn't nice. I was super sore. Anyways, so that happened. So now I kind of walk with a little limp. Like, I swear I'm not trying to be cool. That's how I walk. You know, I'm injured. I have a handicap sticker to prove it. For those of you who know me, you know. I'm on crutches. See? I'm on crutches. And yeah, so I'm working again, and my life is super great. What can I say? No, anyways, so I definitely don't regret everything that I've been through, only because I met some pretty awesome people. I've done super cool things. I've done things that I never would have thought I would have been able to do again. I made a lot of cancer friends who have literally been through everything. A shout out to Weston Lord. Weston, I met him in the hospital actually when we were both diagnosed, and he started, when I first met him, we were playing Uno with all the nurses at like 12 o'clock in the morning, 12 a.m. and he just kept cussing because he's British, and I guess that's normal over there. Wouldn't know, never been. Anyways, he calls me kid, even though he's only like 2 years older than me. Whatever. Weston, come at me. Yeah, he's super cool. Definitely a mentor, definitely someone I look up to. But it's super cool. Like, I wouldn't regret anything that I've been through. Like, everything that I've been through has only made me stronger and helped me just kind of strive to be the better person that I can be. And I'm super blessed to have had everyone in, you know, in my journey there for me, and like, I wouldn't be able to be where I am without you guys. So I just want to say thank you, and I cannot wait to see what the future holds for us, for me, for you, for everyone, you watching this vlog. I see you. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And right now I'm going to school. I'm working. It is what it is. Yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys can give this vlog a thumbs up. Subscribe. Be a leader, not a follower. See ya.